1022, of course, is a legend. Been around for over 50 years, and it just shoots like a dream. It's lightweight, it's handy, and it's just reliable. This is one rifle that I've just purchased. I actually got it from PSA, or Palmetto State Armory, this past week. But I've got a couple of projects coming up with the Magpul X22 stock system and with the Kid Innovations Design custom parts, putting on a heavy barrel and new trigger group and a lot of other things. And so I just thought this is going to be a good thing to put together, and I wanted to do this review on a brand new rifle. This is an unfired rifle. It isn't the new synthetic stock. When I say new, it's been around for a while, but compared to the original wood stocks, they've been around again for over 50 years. I've had my personal 1022 for over 25 years. So I have a lot of experience with the 1022. To me, it is one of the best 22 semi-automatics on the market. There are a lot of other really nice designs out there, but I really like what the 1022 features. There have been over 5 million of these sold. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the magazine, and it is a 10-round rotary magazine. The rounds fit in a round position. That way they can stay flush with the stock. Now you can get a lot of different magazine configurations for this. Ruger has a 25-round magazine that's really nice, and of course Butler Creek and a lot of others are making some really cool large capacity magazines up to about 30 rounds. And I have a number of those that I've used over the years. But the main thing we're going to do is check to make sure the gun is unloaded and the chamber is empty. One of the things I really like about the synthetic stock is that it does make it lighter. I know that on the Ruger website, it lists this as weighing 5 pounds, the same as the wood stock. But once I put this on my scale, it came in at 4.5 pounds. In fact, just a touch under. And I knew it was lighter just by picking it up. And so it's really a very handy, easy to use rifle. Now, for any firearm to be around for over 50 years, there has to be some real great qualities about it. It is very simple design, very reliable, and very accurate. The 1022 is one of the most adaptable firearms in the world as far as aftermarket parts. I mean, there is so many things you can do to it. And what's really cool is it's really easy to disassemble and to work on these, which again makes it nice. Another great thing about Ruger is that the parts to repair it are very available. I mean, they're plentiful and it's really easy to do. And that's one of the appeals of having a firearm that's really popular, is that there is a lot you can do, because companies, just from the free market, you know, they make different parts for it. This is great for hunting, for plinking, for target practice, and can be used in self-defense. This has been used by the U.S. military in different applications as a full automatic model. The Israelis, the IDF, for a number of years used this as a non-lethal option for riot control. They would shoot protesters in the legs. Now that was changed and they had to stop doing that, but it's still used by the IDF today for a number of applications and other militaries around because of its reliability. And it was a suppressed model, so it was a pretty cool deal. The great upgrades they made on this rifle was this extended mag release. Before, you had to push and then pull down, which works. So this makes it really easy for this to come in and out, and especially with your extended magazines. Just hitting the button and it drops right out. The bolt does not hold open on the last round. Once it's fired, it'll just go straight forward. It has a lot to do with the blowback design. Once the bolt has been brought back, when you engage it, just push it in the up position. That'll hold it into place. To get the bolt to release, you got to actually bring down this little lever, and that allows the bolt to go forward. Right here you have the safety, which is on the left side, and it does show red. The top of your receiver has been drilled and tapped for a scope mount. And Ruger does include a Weaver style scope mount to go here with screws to mount it. But whether you go with a scope or not, this is still a very accurate rifle. It has an adjustable buckhorn sight at the back that does fold down. Just take your screwdriver right here and loosen it, and you can adjust this plate up and down. The front has a small little brass bead, and this is also windage adjustable. You can move this over just a little bit, but it really shows up well with the fixed iron sights. No real surprise here because I was shooting at about 15 yards, but here is just a little tight group just to give you a little sample of what this gun is really capable of. Definitely out to ranges, you know, this can really do extremely well. And then of course there's just a lot of upgrades you can put on this rifle. This was CCI Mini Mags. They're just some of my favorite rounds to shoot. Just good high velocity and easy to see targets. The barrel is tapered. This particular model is 18.5 inches. It is the Carbine. They do make the compact version, which has a 16.5 inch barrel. But there are a lot of different configurations for this rifle. Not only the standard with the synthetic, the wood stock, there are different type models, target models with heavy barrels. But there's also the takedown model, and that's something pretty new where the barrel will actually can be removed very easily with a lever and separated. Really, for the project I was doing, I really needed the full rifle instead of the takedown model, but I've really wanted one of the takedown models for a while, which I hope to get coming up in the next couple of months. There's also the SR22 model, which uses the 1022 action, but more in an AR style system. And there are a lot of different stock systems. In fact, I did a review a while back on the ATI stock system for the 1022. Butler Creek makes them. I mean, Tapco, there's a number of different companies that make folding stocks and just tactical looking stocks. And then there's the Charger pistol, which is a pistol form of this version, and it usually comes with a bipod, and it's a really cool little system. So it's a very versatile rifle with a lot of different models. Now, over the years, there have been a number of different magazines made for these. In fact, this is an Eagle International magazine. It's a 30-round magazine. It has the polymer feed lips. This has always functioned well for me. But these are no longer made. One of the problems is it has a magazine release right here, which really works great with the original model, but with the new extended mag release, it won't work. But here is one of the Butler Creek mags. It's a great little magazine. It has the steel feed lips. You can get the hot lips, which are red, but they are polymer. I definitely recommend getting the steel feed lips. The 10-round magazine works perfectly. And, you know, and again, if you really want just super reliability, of course, you can go with the Ruger extended magazine. And one of the things about this stock is the checkering on here is really nice and aggressive. So you can really get a good feel for it. And then, of course, it has this pistol grip here. Again, great texturing. Then here, the buttstock also has nice texturing on it as well. The original wood stock has kind of a plastic butt pad. And it's somewhat slick. It's not slippery, but much more slick than this textured feel right here that comes on the synthetic models. To me, the stainless model looks really nice. It does have the stainless barrel, but then the receiver is an alloy. Whether you get the blue or the stainless, it's a brushed nickel that matches very well with the barrel. And then, of course, down here with the trigger guard. But I really like the black. This is just a solid black rifle, and I just really like that. One of the funny things is, though, when I get ready to do the Kid Innovation design, it has a stainless steel heavy barrel. But that's going to be for target, and it's going to be for a specific, really more for accuracy, and I really don't care. And these rifles are not picky on ammunition. I've used tons of bulk ammunition in these without any issues whatsoever. Of course, CCI Mini Mags are my favorite, and they just are positive ignition, high velocity. But you can use the Federal bulk or whatever to go in these, and they just function well. It's one of the great things about the 1022. It's very forgiving when it comes to ammunition types. Load's really easy. Just pushes down. Of course, 22 long rifle. It's slick, and really it's just not that hard to do. There are a lot of different loader types you can buy for these. I mean, there's just, again, there's a ton of different accessories and things you can find. One of the suggestions I'll give you is go to Brownells just to see all the different options, because those guys carry a lot of different options for the 1022. Reliability was excellent just shooting through, even if I used the 25-round Butler Creek mag. Just seemed to feed everything I put through it. One of the things it did, though, is when I was shooting the target, one of the first shots, I shot it and then it was a click. I didn't really look to see if it was a dead round or if for some reason it didn't work, but that was the only little incident I had at all. It does come in a standard cardboard box, but it also comes with locks, and it does come with a regular safety lock, and it comes with this bracket with 2 keys and, of course, the chamber flag. For the locking bracket, you have your action held open. This little lever right here fits into the action like this, and then you just take your lock and just put it right through, and then you lock it down, and this will keep it really secure. What I think I'd like to see is maybe a couple of holes drilled here where you could put this on the wall and be able to use this to lock it down in place, which I think would be easy enough to do. Of course, the key just unlocks and you're done. I think one thing too is, with this being metal, I would be concerned a little bit about scratching my surfaces here. So I will not be using this, but it is a great feature, especially if you have kids around. It makes it really nice. But for now, this goes in my junk drawer. As far as criticisms about the rifle, I really don't have any. The only thing that I would like to see is a dedicated place for a sling. And it doesn't have anywhere for a sling. I'm sure that there are tons of different adaptable slings with the barrel band right here, and you know where to put it. But as far as this goes, the way you get it, there's not a place for a sling attachment. The fit and finish is always very nice on these rifles. But what's really nice is the price. I think the retail price on these from Ruger is $289. This at Palmetto State Armory, where I bought it last week, they were running these particular ones for $209, and then the wood version was $199. So a really great price for around $200. You can have a really high, super quality 22 long rifle, semi-automatic rifle, and something that'll last that you can pass down to your children and your grandchildren. I mean, it's just a great, and that's one of the other things about this rifle that I want to kind of briefly mention, is that this is a great training rifle, especially for children or those that have never fired guns before or never shot rifle. The overall length of the rifle is 36 3/4 inches in overall length. Now that's with the 18.5 inch barrel. But the length of pull is only 13.5 inches. So there are a lot of people that are smaller stature that are able to shoot this rifle with not any problem. And I'm sure that there are a ton of extended butt pads, if you want to put those on there, to extend the length of pull. They did make the 10/22 and a 22 Magnum and a 17 HMR for a limited number of years, but those were discontinued. But the 10/22 and 22 long rifle has stood the test of time, and it will continue to be a very popular rifle because when it was made, it was ahead of its time. And to be honest with you, there's not really anything on the market that really compares to this really unique design. It's just a great little shooting rifle. Ruger making the 10/22 right for over 50 years. Good stuff. So the Ruger 10/22, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. When you remove the magazine, pull it back. But this is so much easier. In fact, you can just but this is just a, and then there's also, as far as criticisms, okay, go out and buy your 10/22. You'll never regret it. Great little rifle.